Welcome to episode 17 of Insurance, Investments, and All About Town podcast. I'm Eric Sporing, financial advisor and owner of ECS Capital Investments. To my left is my podcast partner in crime, healthcare specialist Tara Lavelle with Von Fire Insurance. To our right today is Brian and Nick with GFM Recording Studios.
What's up? How's it going?
Welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
It's a pleasure to be here.
Well,
thanks for coming here, actually.
I know, right?
Oh,
Look
yes,
at
we're on
this.
location. Yeah.
Yes. So we no longer have a podcast room anymore. They kicked us out of our podcast room. So GFM was like, hey, come down and check out our studio.
Happy to have you
Yeah,
guys.
so it's great. So, Tara,
Yes.
I hear you went on a little vacay.
I knew. Yes, I did. We went on a little vacation.
I heard that. I heard it was quite the adventure
It
to get there.
it was something. Yes, it was something. It was, I think, a total of 3 to 4 canceled flights, multiple delays. At one point, we were on an airplane,
Yes,
ready to go,
yes.
and they canceled our flight, and we had to deboard and go home for the day. So.
Weather?
I don't know. It was that big ice storm.
Oh.
We were flying American, and apparently they just could not recover. And so we were supposed to fly out Tuesday morning at 7 and spend all day delayed or canceled. Tuesday night at 11:30 on a hunch, I said, you know what? I am going to just buy 3 refundable tickets through another airline. Thank you, Southwest.
I knew it.
And it was assigned seating. It was day 2 of assigned
Oh.
seating. So
Was
I
it
bought.
mayhem or it was cool?
It
with
was
the
really,
assigned
it was
seating?
great. It was great.
Okay.
None of that like chaos
Yeah.
of trying to be
boarding.
yeah. So it was
A
great.
through.
So yeah, on a hunch, I said I'm just going to buy refundable tickets. If we board the American Airlines plane at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning, like I'll cancel. Not a big deal. American canceled my Wednesday flight, moved it to Thursday. So Southwest got us to Cancun
All right.
as promised, and we did. We spent 4 days in the sunshine, and bottomless mojitos is never
Never a bad
a
thing.
bad thing. So had a great time. We took our youngest, Haley. She graduated college in December. So
Congrats.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
Get
took
ready
her.
for the real world.
Not yet.
No.
No,
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
we're gonna go back for a master's and
Oh, okay. All right. Good.
probably
Yeah.
a doctorate.
Cool. Milk it. Milk
Yeah. So
Right.
yeah, she's gonna be a professional student for
it.
the
Excellent.
next few
Yeah,
years.
cool.
But yeah, it was a great time. I know you think I don't work, so
Well, we heard what's on your calendar today.
Right, we did. So,
this is it today.
nothing, by the way.
This
So,
is it.
Yeah.
It's an
so-
admin day, you guys. It's an admin day.
Admin day.
Teachers have them.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
Why can't
Exactly.
we?
Right.
I need them too.
There you go. So we're shooting this the day after the Super Bowl. So Seahawks
Dominated.
dominated. That's
Yeah.
a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It was
Kind of
not re-
sad.
wasn't really kind of a game at all. It's kind of a boring game, but big Super Bowl party or
No, just our middle daughter and our grandson came over. We ordered pizza. I mean, it was very, very
low key.
low key.
Low
Yeah,
key.
I would say I feel great today compared to how Drake May probably feels. It was a rough day for him.
It sure
so
was, yeah.
6 sacks is a lot.
Yeah.
Poor
Yeah.
guy.
It
But
is.
yeah, no, we had a good time. How about
Yeah,
you?
yeah.
Anybody? Super Bowl
Yeah,
party,
party,
do the
yeah.
thing?
Exciting.
No.
Been recovering, trying to stay healthy, and
I love it.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
Same here.
Same here. Pretty low key. So.
I mean, I have to admit, we are spoiled as Chiefs fans.
I
so
know.
True.
for
I
the
know.
I have watched every Super Bowl for as long as I can remember. Didn't matter who was in it. Well, I clearly acted like a spoiled brat.
I-
Was, like, oh, if the Chiefs aren't in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still had. I mean, it was fun. Commercials are always a good time.
Yep.
Halftime shows always good. So
Yep.
had a good time.
It was actually interesting yesterday going out in town a little bit. Lots of people wearing Chiefs stuff. It was
Yes.
kind of crazy.
Really?
I don't
That's
know if you
funny.
guys saw that. but it
No,
was
no.
interesting.
I didn't leave the house once yesterday.
Good. Congratulations.
I had a friend once tell me that Kansas City is a city that wears its own like gear more than anybody else, and not just Chiefs, but like anything Kansas
Royals.
City.
Like Royals.
Yes,
Sporting.
and so like
Yeah.
you don't see, I guess as many people from call it Chicago, wherever, where
That's
like
true, actually.
we fly and we are wearing our Heart KC shirt.
Shirts,
And
Yeah.
everybody notices too,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
when you're in other towns, like, oh,
Yeah.
are you from Kansas City?
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah.
real Chiefs fans
Yeah.
or
Yes.
whatever?
Yeah.
Before
Yeah.
they were
Yeah.
good,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
or when the Royals were doing good.
Well, there's that little span.
Yeah. Well, hey, can't win them all.
You can't win them all, right? Exactly. Kansas City local boy won a Super Bowl ring yesterday. If you guys were aware of that.
Drew Lock?
Drew Lock, yeah. He's
Backup
backup quarterback.
Okay,
for the,
good for Drew.
yeah,
That's great.
Seahawks, exactly. So, but I actually, the reason I didn't leave the house yesterday is I put a pork butt on Saturday
okay.
night at 9 o'clock on the smoker, and that's probably right up Brian's alley. I just perked Brian's ears.
You did.
Wait a minute, he doesn't listen to the
No.
podcast.
He won't. I'll tell him you talking about barbecue. He might tune in.
He might tune in. So,
Yeah. Tell him it's only 6 minutes in, so he
He only has to listen for 6 minutes. So, do you have a pellet smoker?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
I have a pellet smoker.
So you can set it and forget it.
Yeah, I set it, forget it. I don't have to sit there and put wood on all the time, keep it at temperature. So.
I think Brian likes doing it the hard way.
Does he? He does
Yes.
it the old
Oh,
school
yeah.
way? Really?
Yeah, he does it the old way. He likes to do it that way, but
Okay. Yeah, not me. I like
I'm with
set
you
it,
on
forget
that.
it. I can go to bed. I don't have to I don't have to worry
he
about
has a
staying up.
drum that he watches less. It just burns more evenly than our traditional wood one does, but he hasn't done pellet yet. So
He hasn't gone pellet yet.
was it delicious?
Oh, it was. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
good.
I told my family last night, I said, if I'm ever on death row, this is my last meal that I
Wow.
want. I said, this is the
Dang,
last meal I
okay.
want right here. And so I said,
pellet
you better learn how to
smoked.
cook it.
Pellet smoked.
That's right, pellet smoked, exactly. So
Did you bring some to share
I
with the office?
did not, because I knew you weren't going to be there.
Oh,
so
true.
you're
It
never
is
in on
Monday.
Mondays.
It is Monday.
Or with the studio, so no, it's cool.
Well, Tara, I think you were going to talk about self-advocacy. Can you say that word?
Yeah, advocacy.
Advocacy in your healthcare insurance.
I am.
Today I'll talk about retiring with a purpose. Then we'll give the floor to GFM here and let you guys tell us all about this wonderful place. And
Yeah,
so-
I am
Our best.
excited to
We're gonna
learn.
do our best.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
you guys will do fine.
They're a
So-
nice little hidden gem here on Main Street in Blue Springs.
What?
So I'm
That-
excited.
that-
Oh,
Well,
I didn't even
no.
look.
That was part of my intro that I
Well,
didn't even talk about.
I'll let you repeat
no,
it.
No, you're fine. I have that down as well. I
Okay, good.
I said this is an awesome hidden gem, hidden treasure in downtown Blue Springs. So
Look
we
at
both,
us.
we both,
always in
Wonderful
sync
team.
over here.
right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
We know how that goes.
So, well, Tara, why don't you kick it off and talk a little bit about some self-advocacy? Advocacy. Marissa, just leave it in there.
I'm going to make sure to put difficult words in my topics from here on out because
There you
that's
go.
fun.
Yeah.
So self-advocacy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
In healthcare. Healthcare feels intimidating, and it actually feels that way even for people who are professionals in healthcare, right? So our appointments are short. The language can be confusing. A lot of times people leave their visits like without answers,
Right.
So they leave, they're confused. So what we want to talk about today is self-advocacy. So what that means is it's not you being confrontational in a healthcare appointment. It's really more about you being an active participant in your care. Asking questions, right? You kind of slowing the conversation, making sure you understand what's happening to your body and why.
Are there good techniques to do it without getting the doctor upset? It seems like if you interject even a little, they're like,
What
What
are
are
you
you
questioning
doing?
me?
Yeah, so I really think, and that, what a great segue. Like, did you read my script? That is
We're all in this together.
Wow, look at that. Really talking about how
See?
advocacy starts before your appointment. And so that is doing simple things like taking notes, right? If you notice something feels different, write it down. I think most of us get there, and this can be your annual appointment, right? Just to talk through how you're feeling, blah, 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 blah. Or if you're, sick appointments are a little bit different, but, writing it down, what's changed, right? Think about when you went last year, what's changed since then, right? What's bothering you now? And what do you want out of the visit? Because we all know how it works. You step into the doctor's office, you have 8 minutes.
Yeah.
7 of them are them looking in your ears, nose, throat, and listening to your heart, right? And out they go. So I want to stress that isn't, doctors are in a tough position based on carrier contracts. So the carriers are asking more and more of the doctors all the time. I think we might have actually talked about this in another episode. Where they're saying they want X number of patients out of you to stay under contract.
Right.
So they're trying to get you,
Move
in and
through,
out.
yeah.
But the only way you're going to be on your timeline is if you're prepared for the appointment and you control the timeline. So yes, preparing for the appointment, I think, is probably first and foremost. Using your voice during the visit. Like we said, your doctor comes in, they have an agenda, and we all freeze and want to pretend like we're okay and get through it and go home. It's your turn to really start asking the questions, right? Can you explain that to me in plain language? Doctors, I've experienced this in insurance.
Without looking at your iPad.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
I've experienced this in insurance in a couple of different ways. So you turn in a roof claim. The adjuster on your roof has seen 30 other roofs that week. They don't say a lot, right? They're speaking their language, not yours.
Right.
And they don't realize this may be the only roof you ever have replaced, right? So I think doctors get in that groove too, right? So really asking them, like, can you put that in plain language? Or what are my options, right? So I think we're in a society that is prescription driven.
Yeah.
Talk about other options. Ask about generics, right? So advocate for yourself in that. What happens if I wait? So that's a great question, right? Get an MRI. Okay, but what happens if I wait? Are there real consequences? You have direct access to physical therapy now in the state of Missouri. So, Eric, you do some heavy lifting over the weekend. Your back's out of whack. You don't need your doctor to authorize you to go see a physical therapist.
Really?
You can contact a physical therapist and start physical therapy without ever seeing a specialist.
Did not know
So you don't have to go straight to MRI. You don't have to go straight to a specialist.
I don't need a scan to tell me my back hurts like crud right over here.
No, you don't. You don't. That doesn't feel right. Can we talk through it? You know your body better than anyone else.
Right.
If it doesn't make sense to you and it doesn't feel right, then pause. Pause, ask questions, maybe ask for a second opinion. I think a lot of people feel like asking for a second opinion is an insult to the physician, right? And I can understand how in that moment, maybe, well, this doctor says this is what I should do. There are different trains of thought. There are doctors who've practiced the same way for a long time who maybe haven't thought about a new way of practicing. So if you're facing a diagnosis or facing some testing, aren't sure you're 100% comfortable, get a second opinion.
Yeah.
I always think that that's extremely important. Financial side too. So we can talk about gosh darn it, that is just embarrassing. I gave him so much credit for not being able to say advocacy, and here I am.
There you are.
Here I
Hey,
am.
you put it in the title.
I
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I don't even know what other word to use, or I would have maybe done that.
Yeah.
So from the financial aspect too. So sometimes X-ray at the doctor's office or hospital may be more than at a freestanding facility. So advocating for yourself, asking, how is this covered? Right?
Yeah.
Right? Is there another option that would cost less? So making sure, and knowing your plan, understanding your plan, right? It's really easy to say, oh, I'm going to go get an MRI. Well, if you have a $3,000 deductible plan, most likely that MRI you're going to be paying out of pocket.
Right.
So, right, what are the other options?
Don't get one.
Yeah, that is an option, but if you need one, I
Yeah.
do encourage
Yeah.
you to go ahead and get it. Something I've experienced in my lifetime is helping take care of maybe, our parents, grandparents, and being another ear in the room for someone else. Okay. So for parents, that's with your kids, right? If you feel something's not right, maybe you don't like what the doctor's saying, they give you a clean bill of health, but your gut is telling you something, go with your gut first and foremost. But when it comes to maybe aging parents or, aging neighbors, sometimes you need another ear in the room, especially if we're talking through some pretty tough diagnoses. What I have found that is when someone's facing a tough diagnosis, let's call it cancer, you almost need someone in the room to listen and not react, right? Someone who can take the emotion out of what's going on and really take notes. Take notes, pay attention, help set appointments. So sometimes we have to advocate for the people we love too. I think really that's when it comes to advocacy, it's really about knowing your plan, creating your own agenda, going to your appointment prepared, and asking questions. You set the pace for those appointments and advocate for yourself. Okay.
Good.
Nailed it.
Yep. One question I have is you talked about getting a second opinion. Is that, when it comes to like a second opinion, is that, do you ask the doctor, hey, I'd like to get a second opinion, or you kind of just you leave your doctor's appointment and then you're calling another doctor? I mean,
you're doing that.
You're doing that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Because I know, and you mentioned it kind of early too about the new rule, I guess in Missouri about PT. Always seems like you have to have a referral to go to this, to go to that. So that's why I was wondering on a second opinion. I mean, do you have to get your doctor?
So the referral piece comes from the type of plan you're in.
Oh.
So if you are in a PPO, you typically don't need referrals.
Okay.
So you have access to any specialist
Okay.
you
Just call
want
them up or
access to.
whatever?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you have to notify your doctor like he's asking? Would you notify him, or you just call another guy or girl? And
No. And you can switch anytime you want. I have a really good example of that. My mother-in-law was looking at a knee replacement a few months back. And something about it just wasn't working, right? I wasn't comfortable with the office. And so we just scheduled an appointment with someone else we heard was good from someone else. The doctor was a better match. Just his bedside was probably a better match for us. And we've now done 2 knee replacements in the last year. She's done great. We love the office. But I think what typically we do is we just think, well, they're the medical professional, right?
They know.
They know.
Better,
We'll do it. You don't have to do it that way. But yes, you do have to advocate for yourself. You've got to make the call, right? You have a diagnosis. You need to see a, endocrinologist. Good luck getting into one, but when you can, that is the other problem. Is it can be hard to get into to see who you want to see. But
you got any tips on getting in sooner?
No, there is no.
Gotta ask.
Yeah, there's no good way to make that happen. Unfortunately, know somebody in the office maybe, but it's hard. Actually, ask to be on the cancellation list. That's it, right? So you call, they don't have an appointment for 6 months, tell them you want to be on the cancellation list. And then they have a running list of people to call in the event of a cancellation, and you just need to be prepared to jump and go in when you can get there.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Good. Well, that's great information, Tara. It's something I didn't really kind of think about, really, right? Being prepared when you go in. Now, look, I'm a male, right? So I don't go to the doctor's often as I should, but probably should make a list though when I do go.
And anything like you never know. It's the smallest things that really can be something big, and it's the little things that we don't take care of that become bigger things, right? Things. So you have indigestion or acid reflux. Well, you let that go on long enough, and that can lead to esophageal cancer. You don't think about that, right? But so it's the littlest things, just getting them getting
checked
in
out.
And and if you go and you've tried all of these things and you still don't feel right, you probably need to switch doctors. Like if your doctor's not listening, if you're trying all of these strategies and you still don't feel heard, find another one. Right. Move on.
There's plenty of them.
Yes,
there's
a lot.
All the
Yeah,
time,
there's a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So, once again, that was great, Tara. Thanks for sharing all that information.
Of course.
Yeah. Well, today I was going to talk about retiring with a purpose, and what does that mean? I've been talking to my clients a lot here the last several years of when you retire with a purpose, right? A lot of times you see a lot of people, they retire, right? Older people, right? And they retire, they just sit at home. And Tara, you can probably contest this a little bit in healthcare. And the mind starts to, slip a little bit. The body starts slipping because, you're not,
Active and such.
you got it. You're just sitting at home. So I always talk to clients about retiring with a purpose. For instance, mental and emotional health. It's that structure, right? Getting up every morning. I got to be at work. I got a podcast to shoot. It's that mental sharpness. But once again, like I just said, once you kind of retire, if you don't have a purpose, that mental, identity starts to go away. So just once again, it's another reason to have a purpose to retire. Physically, physical health and longevity. Once again, you see, I got a couple in my neighborhood. They're well into their 80s, and they walk, not as much right now because it's cold, but they walk almost every day. But it's that being physically active, right? Keeps the body, keeps the muscles strong, because if you just sit around and do nothing, the muscles and everything, the mental, once again, just starts deteriorating. That social connection of, getting involved with, groups or something like that. Because if once again, you are working and you stop working, you stop having that interaction, once again, that kind of, keeps the mind, active and conversing and, things of that nature. So once again, retiring with the purpose of just that social connection. Motivation and daily structure. So once again, we go back to, when you retire, when you're working, right? You've got that motivation, you got that daily structure. I got to get up at 6, taking a shower, I got to eat breakfast, you have that daily routine. But when you retire, that daily routine kind of goes away. And so it's that, I'll get up at 8 and, have breakfast and then, lay back in bed or just sit in the recliner watching, game shows, Price is Right, So, but just
Judy.
Judge Judy, right? Exactly. So
Poor Judge Judy.
Poor Judge Judy. So, but it also, prevents boredom, right? Of being at home. And a lot of times when you're bored, right? Some of the things you do that you shouldn't do, probably don't eat like the right things, right? When we get bored and we go to the cabinet, I'll have a cookie or, so there's more to it. And then just opportunity for growth and contribution, just giving back, right? That's kind of the contribution. I'm talking about retiring with a passion, right? Just have, go volunteer at, I'm trying to think of where to volunteer, but,
Oh, you can volunteer anywhere,
Right.
right? You can
Yeah, wherever
volunteer
it
at an
drives you.
animal
Shelter
shelter. You
and-
can volunteer at the hospital.
Yeah, I'm
you
trying to
can-
think of
yeah.
harvesters. That's kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I had on my mind. Helping
Schools.
pack lunches and things like that. So it's just something, like I said, I talk to my clients about is just retire with a purpose. Have a reason, not just to retire, but it doesn't matter if it's just going. I don't care if you're playing golf or you're going to the mall to walk or going to trivia night at East 40 or
Yeah.
having a purpose to to retire. Just retiring is not enough. The body starts slipping. I look at my parents. They live out on a farm, right? And my dad is always outside. He's 76, 77 years old.
Still working it.
He's out on the pasture cutting wood, or he's splitting wood during the winter and the springtime. He's
Does he
doing
have a
other
splitter, or
things.
is he doing it by hand?
No, he's got a splitter.
Okay,
yeah,
all
he's
right,
got.
yeah, I was gonna
he's not a
say.
Paul Bunyan.
Okay,
I
all
was
right.
really worried about your dad there for a minute.
No, I was impressed.
Oh.
Actually.
It's like, why aren't you down there helping your no?
Man.
So, but it's like that. Just retire with a purpose, so you're not just sitting and just kind of letting the body slip. So just if you want to travel, but
Yeah.
have a purpose when you retire. Because if you don't, that's when the body starts kind of
I think
slipping.
that's interesting because you're talking to a generation of people that work was life.
That was life, right?
Right? Like
Right.
that was their purpose. It's how they identify
Yep.
is with their I am one of those people. I take
Right.
immense pride in my work.
Yep.
I think about retirement and think, gosh, I can't imagine not working.
Right.
I mean, I want to travel and see
Right,
everything.
right.
So believe me, you guys, I'll find
travel
something
American.
to do. But don't, right? Well, probably not. But I can see where retiring would feel without a plan. Almost depressing
Right.
for people.
Right.
So
Right. And so that's once again, just have a purpose when you
Okay.
go to retire. Just don't. just sit on the couch and do nothing.
Can you take a month to sit on the couch and do nothing?
Okay, I'll
Take
give you
six,
that.
take
Okay.
six.
Yeah. I'll give you that. But
Okay,
then
a
get
little
at
time,
it.
but
get
then
at
we
it.
have to get at it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So.
From what we hear, too, grandkids help a lot too, as far as retirement goes.
Well, they do
play
keep
with
you.
them.
Yeah, they will. I mean, you've got Atticus.
keep you busy.
So,
Yeah, for sure.
He keeps you busy, but yeah, that's could be part of it, right? Traveling to see dance recitals or school plays.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
That's a good point. Or babysitting.
Babysitting,
Or whatever.
yeah.
Going to the park.
right.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I will
so.
tell you, nothing will teach you to stay mobile.
Like a grandkid.
Like a
Just
grandkid.
learn
A
how to
young
walk,
grandkid.
run.
Yeah, like you play on the floor with them because they're yay big, and then
Well, you got free PT, or at least take
Right.
care of
Yeah.
PT. so
Right.
it's fine.
Yeah. So.
I know that's not all you have for us
Well,
today.
no,
I
you know me. And last month, my computer crashed, right? So I didn't have a chance to pull any of my fun little facts. So this one might be right up your guys' alley.
All right.
So that's why I picked it.
Okay,
So,
okay.
All right. So I want my MTV.
Oh, love
Okay.
it. Yeah, yes.
44 years after its launch, MTV shut down all of its remaining music video only channels globally at the end of 2025.
We heard that.
Yeah. Can you tell me either the first video that was
100%,
played
yes.
or the last video that was played?
Don't know the last. I know the first.
Okay, what was
Unless
the first
they are
one?
the same. It's "Video Killed the Radio Star" by the Boggles.
The Bugles, right? So
Yeah.
okay, all right.
Buggles.
Did you-
It's the
Buggles.
Buggles. It's the
Buggles,
Buggles.
yeah.
Okay.
Did you guys know that?
We had heard that, but it was
Yeah.
way
Yeah.
back in the archives.
back in the
Way
archives.
back.
I think they must be younger
I
than
was
we
gonna say
are.
they're younger.
Yeah,
they know,
they're
yeah.
younger.
We did though, and it makes sense, video
Killed the
radio
radio star.
It's
Yeah,
perfect,
right. So you didn't know the last one, the last video
No.
that was played. Video killed the radio.
Is it
star.
really? It's the same.
On purpose.
On
Full
purpose,
circle.
right? Yeah,
Dang.
yeah.
Full
That's a
circle.
smooth move, though.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah,
that's
it was.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was the first.
I
and the
will
last.
tell you. So I am. I'm gonna guess I'm a little bit older than you guys, but MTV was just a core part of growing up for me. Right? I could literally turn the dial to MTV, and it's what I got ready to in the morning before I went to
Yeah.
school. It's what I watched when I came home. Like that's sad too.
That's
yeah. But,
Yeah, parents were still at work when you got home, and so you turn on the
oh yeah.
music video.
Yes.
Maybe Eminem or something's on. A little
Oh, Eminem was not on in my day. No.
Yeah,
but-
Total Request Live. Man.
Yeah.
TRL. Oh yes.
No, I think that I didn't even get to see that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I graduated high school in 1995.
I was barely born.
So, oh gosh, that's embarrassing. Oh, I was like, wow. Ah,
So I grew up in the country, right? So we had a big antenna, and we only got 3 stations. MTV was not one of them, so we did not get
Yep.
that. So
Bob Ross, maybe.
Bob Ross, painting. Bob
Yeah,
Ross
yeah,
painting.
yeah.
We did get a little PBS.
Okay,
Bob
okay,
Ross
all
painting.
right.
Yes, that was one of them.
Hunting Channel, maybe.
CBS,
News,
NBC,
news, and news.
Oh,
and
okay.
ABC were the 3 local channels that we could get. So, as I stated, as of the shoot of this, the NFL season concluded yesterday. So, it all comes down to this. Out of more than 60,000 field goal attempts in NFL history,
Holy cow.
Ravens kicker Tyler Loop's attempt against the Steelers on January 4th stands alone as the only kick taken in the final week as time expired in the fourth quarter, with both teams' playoff hopes hinging entirely on that one result.
Did you stay up to watch the game?
Which game?
That game.
Yeah, it was a Sunday night game. It was the
that's
last
what I-
game of the
yeah,
season. Yeah.
yeah.
And that he made the final kick as time expired in the fourth quarter. Both teams' playoff hopes on the line with that kick, and he missed it. And the Ravens coach was fired the next 2 days.
Yes.
2 days ago later. So that kick cost John Harbaugh's job
You know, my house was watching that game.
because it's Pittsburgh.
Yes, because
right?
Brian's a big Steelers
Right.
fan. So
Exactly.
he and Maddie were up. I think I gave up and went to bed. but
You went to bed.
yeah, I could
so,
hear them screaming.
Yeah.
So must have been good.
Yep. Well, that didn't happen, so we won't go through that one. Let's see here. Let's see one last one. Well, maybe not. Oh, yeah, we'll do this one. Youth sports, because both our kids played youth sports.
Yep.
The youth sports burden. Family spending on youth sports has eclipsed $40 billion annually.
Annually?
Annually.
It's
Holy
not
cow.
shocking.
To help families with the financial burden of youth sports, a Pennsylvania senator has proposed legislations to create a $3,000 tax credit per child for youth sports expenses.
cool.
Fascinating.
Right?
Do they have anything similar for music? That would be great.
Right?
That would be great,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, studies show music's great for the brain and
It-
learning and
yeah,
all this stuff.
yeah,
So.
learning all that. So, speaking of going back to music, you knew the first video played on MTV.
Mm-hmm.
What was the second?
Oh, jeez.
Who knows?
Pat Benatar,
Okay.
You Better Run.
I don't even know what song that is.
You Better Run?
No, do you want to sing it for us?
I'm
Oh,
not gonna
man.
sing. No, I'm at a studio, right? Maybe I'll go in the booth and record.
Okay,
We'll
and
post
then
it.
we'll, yeah,
We got
good.
it.
I'll look
Don't
forward to
worry
that.
about it.
I honestly don't know what song that is.
Yeah,
You
we'll
better
have,
run. Got nothing on
maybe
it.
Marissa can throw it up there. And
I hope so,
yeah,
please.
So, yeah, so. And then Rod Stewart was the third one.
Rod
Okay.
Stewart.
She Won't Dance With Me.
I don't know that one either.
That
I
one.
wouldn't dance with him either.
I just know the like Wake Up Maggie one and like If You Want My Body. You know, that one.
Yeah, okay.
And you think it's sex.
Oh, who doesn't know that?
Yeah,
That's a
right.
good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, that's all I got for myself today. Clears the runway here for our guest today. Now,
Da, da, da.
now you guys are on the hot seat now.
That's all
so-
you do.
Yeah.
I was trying to get my talking out of the way early so that I don't have to do
He was
much
like,
now.
I'm going to engage in what they're talking about.
Exactly.
So let me do a little short introduction first. Brian and Nick are co-owners of GFM Recording Studios here in Blue Springs, Missouri, where they specialize in professional recording, production, and creative development for artists and content creators. With a hands-on approach and a deep respect for the creative process, they built a studio known for both its high-quality sound and its relaxed, artist-first atmosphere. They shared passion for music and community has made GFM a trusted creative home for musicians across the Kansas City area. Tell us a little bit about GFM Studios.
Don't fight over who's
That's
going to
right,
talk
right.
about it.
Oh, I guess
I'll play teacher and
I'll fall on this sword. All right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
GFM, yeah. In what way? I guess like Brian and I met interning at Chapman Recording Studios, which was the big studio in town here for 44 years.
Okay.
We got really good at cleaning toilets back in the day and decided like, hey, let's get our own place so we don't have to clean toilets anymore.
As much.
As
Yeah,
much.
as
yeah,
much.
as
You still gotta
much,
clean
yeah,
up, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, so we both grew up playing music and being in bands, and both of our fathers particularly, raised us around music. His dad, taught him to listen intently and just brought him up around all different kinds of musics. And my dad was a music teacher, so he taught me different type of stuff that I didn't want to study or learn, but that was vitally important that I should have paid attention. So we grew up loving music and being around music, and we wanted to give back to our community and provide a space where people can really love music as well and be treated with respect and care and have some advocates on their side, and help them better themselves and better their music and give them a pathway to real music, because in Kansas City, we're kind of in limbo, Nashville is a music hub, LA music hub, Atlanta, New York, whatever. Kansas City has tons of talent, but we don't have an outlet or a pathway to connect with these people other than traveling there or moving or, losing a lot of talent.
Right.
And so that's something that we have been trying to give back to this community, particularly Blue Springs, but all of Kansas City, and for this whole arts entertainment district and stuff that the Blue Springs community is doing, it's really amazing for us to be a part of it and to help bring, higher level talent here, more opportunities, maybe people from Nashville or different connections, or help local people connect with people in the bigger cities, the bigger music industry and stuff like this. And so our space is really designed to give care to artists, to give care to music, and to give a world-class sound and product that's comparable to anything you might hear on the radio or MTV or whatever,
Nice.
I
Well,
guess
not anymore.
Well,
Anymore. With streaming.
Spotify, excuse me.
Spotify. right. Yeah, exactly. So, So I noticed, you guys have, when I first met you guys, actually it was a chamber event
It
here.
was, yeah.
The first time I came here was for a chamber event. You guys are Blue Springs chamber members. And it was a pizza party. I think you had some
Yes.
pizza in the back
Yes.
room. But you guys were talking about, it's called, I think, moment in time recordings or something. So explain a little bit to our listeners of what is moment in time recording, legacy recordings, because that's not necessarily artist, right? And so you're not.
Right.
I know artist is a big part of your business, right? But there's things that the public can do here as well, right? So
Definitely.
Absolutely. The legacy recordings are fun because people get to bring their families, they get to bring their grandparents, dad, mom, and share the best memories of life and get it to keep forever, And that's huge. Not only powerful for the fact that, you get to keep it forever and listen to it whenever
Right.
you want, but what happens in this room during those, it's you can explain it. You can explain the energy, the power of it. It's very dear,
yeah.
and it's an amazing thing.
I'm sure, right? I know one, other thing too was like you'd mentioned like you have like a little recording disc or something. I think you
Actually, got one in my pocket.
you got one in
See
your
if I can
pocket.
get it out.
Yeah. But you could take that little recording disc, like this little disc right here, and you can do like a grandparent can read the grandchild's favorite Christmas book, and you can put that on this little disc, and it can be an ornament on the tree, and they can, I think, press a button or something, and they can listen to grandma and grandpa reading a book. Or I think another one I heard was like a voicemail. I think you guys recently had done that where you'd taken a voicemail from somebody that had passed away, a grandparent or something, and put it on one of these discs. So I think that is, awesome when, I heard that. And that's kind of what you're talking about, the memories, right? Of when they come in here, they're building the memories and things.
Absolutely. I mean, something tangible, and we've gone to such a digital medium that anything with records or CDs or anything really has kind of disappeared.
Right.
And it's made a resurgence, which is cool to see, honestly, with the new generation. But we wanted people to take home something in their hand to have forever,
Right.
as well as the recording, the digital part.
Right. Yeah, I think that's cool. That's a great thing. Do you have anything?
Yeah,
Anything
so
to
I
add?
do.
Yeah,
I
Jeff?
always have
Oh, I
stuff,
know.
so-
I didn't want to hog the spotlight.
No,
but
you're
yeah.
doing great.
Yeah.
What other ways do you use the space, right? So I asked, do you rent your space? Can you rent your space? I know I attended a New Year's Eve party that you threw, which was really, really fun, by the way.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it was a nice, relaxed night. We had live music. You could use the karaoke booth. It was a really, really fun night. But
We're
what
still
else
trying
are
to
you
get her
using?
to sign up for one, but
Oh my gosh, they're trying so hard. One of these days. One of these days.
yeah. So we do a lot of things in ways we're learning to use this space for more than just plain recording. Our mentor Chuck taught us, this place and places like this are kind of like Disneyland to people. It's not something very common that people get to come into and see a fancy space, all this equipment, different kinds of things. And so we're trying to create low friction ways of people to general populace to come in, these legacy memory keepsake recordings. Events, we've started doing live events over the last year.
Live at GFM.
Where we basically have an artist come in. Maybe it's a band, maybe it's a solo songwriter, and they play a performance for a room of 15 to 20 people. Everybody gets a set of headphones. They sit out here. We get drinks from East 40, a great partner of ours, chamber member as well, across the street. Great beer. And everybody gets to hear. You can listen in headphones, and what the headphones do is we're recording the whole process, and so the audience gets to hear, reverbs and effects and a polished kind of recording that you would hear on Spotify or whatever. And or they could take the headphones off and hear an amazing artist right here in the room. And this place is such an amazing room. The sound in here is incredible. So even without headphones, it's really magical type of place. But that's something that we've started doing in the last year, and it's growing big time in popularity. In fact, we're planning on adding seats. We're planning on doing live streams to where people don't necessarily have to be here, but you know, that's kind of part of the fun. But if you can't make it or you're in another state or whatever, we're planning on doing high quality live streams, and so you can experience it from anywhere in the world, really. Last year we did our first New Year's Eve event, which was a real hit. It was amazing for us, but
shout out to Leyland Pinnell.
Yeah, Leyland, thank you for the insight on that and the idea. That was amazing. She's great. Yeah, so we're just trying to find ways to get more of the community in here and just spread what a magical place this is and what kind of experiences that you can have in a place like this. You know, that's beyond just stereotypical recording.
Right.
It's more than that. So
yeah, I'll piggyback on the live at GFM. I emailed you guys because I went on your site. I was like, hey, you got one coming up on Valentine's Day. I'm going to jump on that. And you guys are sold out. And so
it's going good.
It is going good. Yeah, sold out. And you're doing that every month, right? I think you've got one coming up in March, you told me. So
we got one in April too. We just haven't put it out.
You haven't put it out there yet.
Yeah,
So you might want to get that out there.
We'll put
but your artists you got coming in, this month, February here, this week. I went out and listened to some of his music, and I really liked his music. That's why I was like, after listening to it, I'm like, it's sold out. You know, so.
Well, we're gonna do a trial live stream, so maybe we'll send you a private link.
There you go.
There you go.
He's great. This kid's name is Tanner Robinson.
Yeah.
We met him actually at the bean counter. His grandpa. We met his grandpa, and his grandpa said, hey, you should get a hold of my grandson. And we got a hold of him and listened to his music. It's like, oh my gosh, we need to know this dude. We need to work with him. So pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Another chamber
venue, right? Yeah, the bean counter. Yeah.
Michael Scott, shout out.
Michael Scott, yes. Not that Michael Scott. The Office Michael Scott.
No, not that Michael
Not that
Scott.
Michael Scott.
The main Michael Scott.
That's right. So, yeah. Is Tanner local? I meant like local Blue Springs. I meant not Kansas City.
Well, his family lives in Blue Springs, but I think he lives down by kind of Harrisonville. He moved down there, and he's out in the country, so he can play his music as loud as he wants, and write as much as he wants, and then come up here. So he's close, but he physically lives a little ways away. Not too far.
Yeah. So
Tuesday nights, I know I can find you at East 40.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do an open mic night, and you guys took over sound. Was it just in January, or was it December?
December. It's been some time now.
Yeah. So if you yourself want to come participate,
great beer,
out.
great music, great sound, great guys. Tara will probably be there.
I'm usually there.
Yeah. You mentioned it too. You know, you worked at Chapman before. Why Blue Springs? I mean, why Blue Springs?
It was what happened was we went from Chapman Recording and Mastering is what it was called to his studio up north in Liberty.
Okay.
And so he was living up there, and I was in school at the time, and he was just starting out as an engineer at that time. And so we'd go up there and we'd do my school projects up there, and
it was cool.
It was awesome. It was a good learning experience, and just give us the freedom to kind of explore everything we needed to know about music and recording, mixing, mastering, production. And believe me, at that point we were learning, to say the least. But it was good. His stepdad found a place here. He knows a guy in town that that owns this building, and he was a mechanical engineer. He's a mechanical engineer, Joe Lampin, good guy. And his stepdad says, you guys got to check out this sound studio that I found. And we're like, sound studio, cool, man. Okay,
right.
See what this is about. So came down and looked at this place, and this place had cubicles in it, had a fluorescent lighting. It was
not
crazy.
The ideal.
Look. Yeah. The look at first was, what it was, but then we saw the structure, and we saw that he kept everything that was needed to build this place back into what it was before, and that was Low-Key Productions. I'm pretty sure it started out as.
Okay.
And so we came in here. It took about 3.5 months, and brought it back to its original glory. And
nice.
And we ended up here, and it's Blue Springs has been amazing it's the perfect cross between a small town and a city.
It
That's right,
is,
it
yes.
is.
It's really awesome that way. And we didn't get into the local scene until, I'd say more into the community, until we had to, go a couple years of just our nose to the grindstone. We finally looked up and realized there's people around us in that way. And so, we tried to, just get into that. We're enjoying that a lot. And, the community is amazing. And we didn't realize what we were missing.
What you're missing right here. Yeah.
Until we got out there.
Yeah, and I think you're right. I mean, I think Blue Springs is 5th or 6th largest, city in Missouri. I mean,
No kidding?
Yeah, it's
Oh,
up
wow.
there. It's
Wow.
up there. It's in the top 10. I can tell you that.
Is it in your little?
It is not in. It's in my note. It's up here,
Okay.
rattling around somewhere. But yeah, it's.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when you said it's kind of a small town, big town, I meant you're right. I meant it's got that small town
It has
feel.
the feel, yeah.
Right, where everybody knows everybody. It's
Which is
friendly.
very
Good or bad,
enjoyable.
good or
It's very-
bad.
Well, it's very
Right.
enjoyable that way. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of places like I grew up in Lawrence, Kansas, and I love Lawrence, but it's
Rock
not
chalk.
like
Rock
this.
chalk.
It's not connected in that way. That at least the parts that I was in, and so seeing that is just very cool.
Yeah, yeah, yep. So yeah, just curious, why Blue Springs? I meant
Yeah. The space drew
the
us
space
here, and
yeah.
we didn't mention it, but it was designed by a guy named Steve Durr, and this guy's from Nashville, and he's done Garth Brooks' personal studio, Willie Nelson's personal studio,
Sony
Capitol,
Music.
Sony.
Yeah.
He did stuff with Disney. He did the Library of Congress. He designed the acoustics at Arrowhead Stadium, the loudest.
Oh, wow.
Loudest stadium in the world,
Yeah.
This guy's amazing,
He's
and
a savant. He really
yeah,
is.
he's amazing. And so, like Brian said, when we found out, go check out the sound studio, we're like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then we saw the space and didn't quite understand it, but we saw these doors that are this thick and these tiered
yeah.
walls and all this different kind of stuff that's like, whoa, this is the real thing. How do we make this happen,
You're right.
And then we moved here, and COVID kicked off 1 year after we were, and so we went on the internet. Internet's huge now.
Yeah.
And so, like he was saying, we kind of got in this vortex of like being on the internet, and we would deal with local people from time to time, but not as much as the internet stuff was going because people were weird and close proximity and all this stuff, whatever. But then we got to realizing, the people and the connections and all this stuff was really, that's really what drives us is the people, the care for people, and music obviously is a love and a passion for us, but the people. And so this remote work is amazing. You get to do projects with people all over the world and different kinds of high-level things or, just interesting things. But the connection wasn't quite the same when all your conversations over text or even video call or something like this. It's not quite the same as sitting here with you guys, shaking your hand, giving you a hug, whatever.
Right.
Sitting on the couch hearing stories of who knows what, tears and all different kinds of things.
Sure. Yeah.
So the people really added on to the space, and then it's like the whole sum, like he's saying, Blue Springs is just an amazing town, amazing people, and tons of talent, like we said, and it's just great for us. We're thankful to be here.
Yeah. I didn't know if you had a question, but I got questions.
Already.
That's fine.
Get some fastballs.
Yeah. I know when I came down here, I came down last week, just to see the space and talk about, what we were going to do today. And I was filming your recording booths, and I was like, I can't remember what I said, but you're like, oh, I've seen some recording booths in Nashville. These are nice here. So, what made me think of that is you said tears, right? A lot of artists, man, they go through ups and downs and tears and. So have you guys worked in Nashville, or you just like you go there for a session for somebody? I meant,
Good question.
Tell me a little bit about Nashville. I meant you mentioned it.
Inspiration. Chuck Chapman, our studio dad, he taught us to go to different places to get inspired and to see how those guys do it and bring it back here. That's what
in
he
the big
did.
leagues.
Right. That's
Right. I
what
was
he
saying Nashville's the place, right? I meant
Yeah.
you think recording. You mentioned all these other cities, but I think Nashville.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so, he got us a trip down there, with this friend of his, and it was, now looking at it, it was something really special. I mean, it always has, but
Just a couple months before we opened.
yeah.
Oh, very neat.
And we got to go to, Music Row and see all of these studios, get a guided tour, and just meet all of the owners and some of the engineers, and it was incredible to just go and figure out, oh man, we know nothing. Let's take notes here, here, and here.
Can you say that again?
I couldn't get it all down.
Yeah. So we brought all that back, and we implemented as much as we could. As much as we were able. And since then, it's been just a constant, keeping in contact with people we've met there and friends we have from there. And it's our outlet to understand again what's outside the box of Kansas City, because it can feel like that as a musician or an engineer or a producer. And so it's really valuable. Same with Los Angeles. The Production Music Association is head for sync music, and so that's syncing music to TV and film, commercials, Netflix, radio spots, stuff like that. Yeah. And so we got into that world and started making really good connections out in Los Angeles. Well, we went out in 2023 to the Production Music Convention, and it opened our eyes in a huge way. We had a good friend of ours hook us up again. This was blessed with a couple studios out there that were huge, the biggest in the world, arguably.
One of them has the most Grammys ever come out of this one studio. It's called East West Studios. Yeah.
Oh wow!
We got we stood in the live room where Elvis Presley stood, where Frank Sinatra played his piano. He had his piano there. It's like.
Sat at the console where Thriller was mixed.
Wow.
Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Wow.
It was just it's those things that they fill you, those experiences, and they give you a little bit more energy, a little bit more boost to just push and push and push.
Yeah.
It's a pretty amazing thing. But with those places, the way they are, it's very saturated in those places.
Yeah.
With guys like us and musicians, and it's a great thing. You can go down there. There's a lot of writers' rooms, what they call writers' rooms. It's where musicians get together and they write amazing songs together. And it's like we wanted that for here. We wanted something like that for here, because music at its base is very creative and very collaborative. So we wanted to be that. We want real music. It shows a lot of people, a lot of kids these days aren't listening to new music at all. They're listening to old music 30 years ago, 25 years ago. Well, why? It's good music.
It's good music.
That's true.
Right?
And that,
amen.
That's big.
Yeah.
So we would like, I know that we still have it in us to make great music. It's, again, like he was saying, COVID threw us all for a loop.
Yeah.
And that connectivity disappeared for a little while.
Yeah.
And I think that had a larger effect.
Yeah.
And so hopefully it's all coming back and we can rev it up again.
Yeah. It's funny you mention that, because, and Tara knows this, I'm 80s through and through when it comes to my music. I'm an 80s, and so talking about the good music to me, 70s, 80s, that's my music, that's my lane. Early 90s, that's my lane. And it's so funny. And my daughter went to college, played sports in college, and they always coach would play like 80s music, and my daughter would be singing along, and the coach is like, how do you know the lyrics to these songs? It's 'cause
my dad.
Yeah, exactly. And that's it. But
I grew up in a house that loved music, so my dad had an album collection that spanned the entire perimeter of our living room in alphabetical order. And it was everything you could think of, all styles of music. And as a kid, it was a big deal if you got to pick the album.
Don't put it out of order.
Yeah, like it would, Friday night you pick the album and Dad dances you around the living room on his toes. Like it's, and we played a game, we'd just call it the game, where my dad would hit scan on the radio, and when the song came up, you had to name whoever named the
Kind of
artist
like how your dad.
and
song.
the song
Yeah.
first would get a quarter. Right?
That's awesome.
So like
That's so cool.
we played that with our kids. So like our kids like know so much music because that's the way I was brought up for sure. And you talk about, I do want to remind you that your music is not 30 years ago.
It is too.
It is not.
It's 2026.
It's 40 years ago. It's 40 plus years ago.
It's
Okay.
crazy how time goes.
Right. Yeah.
It is,
yeah.
but I'm like, I mean, I think about some of the stuff that I really liked that at the time, right, was classic rock, and we're talking,
Right.
I mean, that's a lot. That's 60 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, that's just crazy. But
Yeah.
I think music for people who love music, music is about the way it makes you feel, right? I've always said I like music that makes me feel
Yeah.
a certain way.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I get a lot of that out of today's music,
Yeah.
but I do get a lot of that when I go back and listen to some stuff that I'm on an old country kick right now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like it's been
Old country, like 70s or like
I'm a-
90s?
Oh no, like 70s.
Okay,
Yeah,
alright, cool, good.
yeah.
I'm
So that's
70s,
been a lot
80s, 90s,
yeah.
70s, 80s.
that's been a
country,
lot of
yeah.
fun.
Cool.
Like songs that I'd forgot that I
Yeah.
still know every word to.
Yeah.
Like
Little.
Crazy
Tulsa
how that
Time.
sticks.
Patsy
in
It
your
is
Cline.
weird.
Mhm.
Do not ask me anything about what happened last week, but if you ask me like
A lyric
a
from
Yeah,
the second
yeah,
verse.
yeah,
yeah, I could do.
1973.
I
Yeah,
could do Motley Crue.
Oh.
Oh, now I can't even think
Dr.
of the album.
Feelgood.
Yeah, Dr. Feelgood from like beginning to end. I had to buy that tape twice.
Dang, wore it out.
I did.
Wore it
I
out.
know.
That's
It was so
amazing.
good. So
Yeah.
That's one thing about streaming. You can't really wear out the streaming. That's
No.
kind of nice.
Yeah, that
At
is
the same
nice.
time, like, trade
But
offs.
it makes you forget the music. Just the other day, I love Prince. Don't know why. I've
Yeah.
always loved Prince. Prince
We
song
won't hold
came
it
on.
against you.
Yeah.
I love Prince.
I'm just kidding.
And I was like, man, I need to put more Prince on
Yeah,
my
playlist.
playlist.
Yeah.
So then you got to go add Prince. And
Prince.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
The thing about streaming too is it's like window shopping. I feel like it's disconnected. You don't own anything there, and so you listen from this playlist, and this playlist can have 15 different bands in every song, and that for me is kind of like, okay, it's cool, but then it kind of takes that whole owning it and having that whole experience away,
Yeah.
because it's just like it's
Right.
there and it's just going,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. It's.
So yeah.
I mean, we all sit there and think about, when we were younger, and the cassette in the cassette deck in your driving Friday night, down the strip, and playing your Dr. Feelgood,
I bought so many singles. You know how you could just buy the single
Oh, yeah,
tapes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was like the one song you really wanted to hear on the one side, right? And then the other side was something you like hadn't heard. But I don't know. It was great to even with CDs, right? When we all owe Columbia Records money. I'm sure.
A penny for 12 or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I don't. You guys, Columbia
Maybe-
Records.
Maybe we know Columbia Records,
Right.
but maybe not the exact reference.
Oh, they would sucker you in. They would be
Yeah.
like, for 99 cents you get 13
Cassettes.
albums, tapes, CDs, whatever. But
Yeah.
then you were on a monthly subscription where
Subscription.
they would send
You
you
had to-
stuff, and you'd either keep it or send it back. But then you'd forget to send
Send
it back.
so you have to buy
Then
it.
you'd
So
have
they
to
were
buy
doing
them all.
that way before.
Okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's a similar type of thing nowadays with subscriptions
Yeah.
and all.
Yes, it
Well,
is.
They
that's
were like
true.
way ahead of the curve.
Yeah. So that was back in the day, and
That's
you had
amazing.
to take the stamp off, and
Oh,
it was
yeah.
like it had all the
It was a
artists. You had to take the stamp off, put in the column of one of your 13, and then mail it in, and so we're old.
We are.
That's
old,
fine.
but
That's
Yeah.
all right.
It was
old
good
but cool,
That's-
right?
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah. Trying to stay
80s.
relevant here, I
Yeah.
guess.
It's
So-
great.
Yeah. Speaking, I know we've been going about an hour now, but it's
People will
it's
still be
great.
watching. This has been a good one.
Right.
So
No,
Yeah,
I
it's
agree.
very
I
interactive.
so we kind of talked about kind of our music. I meant what kind of music, what kind of music you guys, I know you probably have all kinds of different artists come in here, but what do you guys like to listen to?
Make it the hot seat.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. I
Right.
want to know it. Go ahead.
I mean, music. Ever
Don't
since
cheese
we-
out on 'em. Give 'em the
it's
truth.
It's true. It's true. Ever since we started doing this, my music tastes have both grown and changed at the same time. And
Okay.
it's because of demand. We kind of have to know how to do multiple genres as far as production and mixing and all that. But I still listen to, my bass line stuff. I love rock and roll.
Okay.
That's my thing. I love grunge, early 90s.
Yeah.
Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots, Soundgarden.
STP.
Oh yeah. And all the way up, to alternative 90s, Sublime and Radiohead and Green Day.
Green Day.
Hey, they played the Super Bowl. They're still relevant.
Did they?
Some sort of intro thing.
Okay.
See, again, older band playing Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But it's been that for me, and of course hip hop. I love hip hop. I love 90s hip hop. I love Dr. Dre. Snoop Dogg. Old Eminem when he first started. I was 16 when he came out, so I totally just locked on to that in my youth. But as far as that goes, I mean, a little bit of pop, some R&B, Taylor Swift. Well, I mean, I got into her more actually as an engineer and producer, because a guy that we know sold us a console, and he worked on Taylor Swift, and we're like, man, okay. He was an inspiration for us, so I started listening to her more, and she's got some talent. And it's just different again, and that's okay. Music's supposed to be. So learned how to listen to that. Lana Del Rey, newer people like that. I like newer bands. Well, newer, say like 2011. Time does go by. The Black Keys, Leap. These bands that just kind of go across again streaming, and you catch them and you're like, ooh, that one's an outlier. you know. But pretty much that's me, man. That's my music taste.
Yeah, for me, I grew up playing drums, so I like anything that's kind of like rhythmic or melodic. I've gone through a bunch of phases. When I was growing up, of course, 90s, and so, I don't know, Sublime. Korn, I like the hard stuff. Limp Bizkit. I like pop punk type stuff, so like Blink-182 and this kind of stuff when it came out was really cool. Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili.
Yeah. Anything that was kind of like super rhythmic and had good melodies and stuff was my jam. Hip hop, of course, Dr. Dre. You can't miss that. And like he said, as we've worked here and even like gone through professional music. My taste has grown a lot. I used to scoff at country or old country, folk music, different kinds of things that was like, that's for some people, but it ain't for me. But I appreciate the talent and the craftsmanship that goes into it nowadays. And so, and then we work with these people, so we got to kind of know the fundamentals and everything. And so, but I've learned that I actually really enjoy it. And like I said, my dad was a music teacher, and so he was always playing jazz and salsa and different kinds of kind of somewhat technical type of music, but which whatever. But now it's like, oh man, okay, I should have paid more attention. I should have listened and liked this stuff. But just kind of a broad thing, but mostly still rhythmic is like my jam. So anything else,
Okay. All right. Did you think of a hot seat question or?
Yeah, one album you couldn't live without.
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
Dang.
One.
Okay.
I know, right?
One.
Yeah.
All right. Hold on. A full album. I mean, I guess I still got to go with, it's an early 2000s pop punk type band. It's called Yellow Card. I probably haven't heard of them.
Haven't heard of them, no.
I started listening to them because of the drummer. But the particular album I think for me would be Ocean Avenue. It was like their first big record on Capitol Records. And it was just amazing. I listened to it. I pretty much wore out the CD if it's even possible. And I listen to it from time to time now, not quite as much because there's such a variety. But for me, that's probably like a keeper.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
Dang.
One. Can we do 70s and then 90s?
Yes.
Sure.
You may pick one from.
One per era. One
There
per
you
era.
go. Yeah.
All right, so, I might be a little off in the 70s to the 80s, but Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Yeah.
Great one. Yeah.
Definitely can't live without that. And then this is hard. All right.
No judgment.
Dirt by Alice in Chains.
Okay.
That one was very, in my formative years, very awesome to me, and so I couldn't live without that one either.
Love it.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
I have said the same one for my whole life. I was an angsty teenager, and Green Day Dookie just spoke to my soul.
Basket Case.
And I still love it, beginning to end. The extra track, like the whole, I loved that. It was something. It was unlike anything I'd ever heard at the time. We'd just come out of grunge era. I loved grunge too. But I don't know. There was something about how angry they were that, man, I loved that. And I still love it.
But polished, kind of polished.
Yes.
At the same time.
I don't know.
That's
it has always been.
You still listen to it?
I do. Heck yes.
amazing.
Oh my gosh, I love that album still
amazing.
today. But that would probably be my favorite. I love, like I said, I love all kinds of music. But I don't know. Something about 1993, 1994, whatever it was, it just hit right and always have. But I'm a big fan of all sorts of things. I love the Jimi Hendrix Experience. I love grunge. I love Nirvana. I don't know. There's so much that I just really, really enjoy, and it spans, like I said, so many different genres. But yeah, Green Day Dookie for me.
Green Day Dookie.
Yeah.
So.
You a big Pat Benatar fan? Is that what it
yeah.
was?
You can read me like a book. Yeah, you can read me like a book.
I was thinking Whitesnake.
I mean, there was that one song.
Yeah.
I think there were two.
Kind of like you said, if you kind of go back to the 70s, my mom worked for kind of it was a kind of a candy company, but they had candy. They also had jukeboxes, right? So they had records. So if you want to go 70s, I grew up on Kiss. I grew up on Kiss.
Yeah.
So, Love Gun, the record. But that's kind of what got me started in the music. But 80s, right? I told you I live in the 80s. I got to go Def Leppard, Pyromania.
Okay.
So,
That was a good one.
that Def Leppard's my group. I mean, I've seen them 5-6 times in concert. And so, yeah.
I saw them once. I thought it was enough.
That was enough, yeah. I saw them. Yeah, the first time I saw them,
I think there's
I
a
don't
difference
remember
in
seeing them.
them in their prime and then going and
40 years
seeing
later.
yeah. So
right,
this year the new concert venue in North Kansas City, they have a lot of I think Guns N' Roses is coming. I think GNR is coming. So there's I don't know. I just think there's seeing those guys in their prime and seeing them later it's a different experience.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's interesting.
It reminds me how old I am.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I didn't know. So I grew up, like I said, 70s with Kiss. I saw them in concert in the 90s, or 90s, early 90s when they still had their makeup on, and so.
Was it everything you hoped for?
Yeah. Gene Simmons, the blood, putting him out over the crowd,
How cool.
So.
I think there just might need to be an age limit on leather pants. Is all I'm saying.
That's fair.
Right?
Right now, so.
Let's put an age limit on that.
Yeah.
Guys, what a great, fun episode.
Yeah, guys, thanks for having us here today. This
Thanks
is
for
great.
Absolutely.
As I look over at our timer, we're an hour and 10 in, but
It went
I
fast,
don't
it
care.
went fast,
I don't
honestly.
care. Yeah, so.
Sorry if you had time constraints.
No.
Like I said, I got
Tara's got
nothing to
nothing
do today.
today.
Well,
so.
I mean on the podcast.
Oh,
on the
no.
podcast.
No, I told you at the beginning. Our first one was 30 minutes, and so. That's gonna put a wrap here on episode 17. If you're new here,
Eric, it doesn't put a wrap on episode 17.
Oh, you know what? Let me back up because I forgot.
Can you put a disc scratch there?
Tara, what events do we have coming up
let
in
me tell
March?
you what's coming up in March.
I totally forgot.
Here in the Springs. First Monday of both March and April, they actually did in February too. Blue Springs Parks and Rec is doing a Nailed It bake-off. So it's like an online bake-off competition. Wow. So first Monday of both March and February, if you've signed up, they'll release your recipe. And then you turn in your online submission by the 8th, and then they're judging it. So it's a
by photos or what?
I believe so.
Oh,
Yeah, I
cool.
thought that was interesting. I hadn't seen that before. There's brunch and bingo for all ages at Vesper Hall on the 7th. Colonial Gardens has a couple of things going on. The 11th, they're doing a plant and sip, so you can go sip wine, plant. I don't know. I'm not sure what they'll be doing, if it's a succulent or whatever, but you can go bring home a plant, do some wine sipping. The 13th, they do plant bingo, so you can go play bingo, possibly win a plant. 16th through 20th It's spring break here in the Blue Springs School District. So that means everywhere will be busy for that week if people aren't on vacation. The 17th is St. Patty's Day. Will you guys be participating since we have the big St. Patty's Day parade down here?
We've never been to the parade,
Oh,
honestly.
you guys.
We've never been to it, but we'll go this year. How
It's
about that?
so fun.
It's so early. That's the problem.
It is early, but
gotta
it's
get up
really
early.
unique.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Yeah. It is.
Pushing it to 9 a.m. was hard for us.
It's like it is the shortest parade, I believe.
It is. World's shortest parade.
We literally walk across the street, but there are bagpipes. Everybody sings Irish Eyes Are Smiling, I believe, out on the street. It gets bigger every year. It's silly. It's fun. I encourage anybody who's going to be in town to come join. And then the last thing I saw is on the 28th, two really fun events. Blue Springs Park and Rec will be doing their Easter egg extravaganza out at Wilbur Young Park. So that is free for kids. It's an Easter egg hunt. When you are done there, you can come downtown and do the Brew Springs homebrew contest. So that'll be right over, I think it's in that parking lot by what used to be the First Baptist Church. There is a cost, of course, to enter. It sold out last year, but it's a lot of fun. You just come
Last year
out.
was the first one, too.
It was, yeah. You just come out, try home brews from around the area. There's usually a food truck and a DJ. It's a really fun time here in downtown Blue Springs. That is all I have now.
That's it?
Wait. March 13th, live at GFM. We still have a few tickets left.
there you
it's
go.
not sold out. So
Not quite.
Yeah.
February is March, not
Okay,
quite yet.
okay.
And April hasn't been posted, so.
All right.
Okay, we'll get on that.
Right.
Now you may.
Now I can wrap
Yeah.
it up. All right.
Let's outro this
let's
thing.
outro it. That puts a wrap here on episode 17.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for tuning in. If you're new here, feel free to see our other episodes that we have out on ECS Capital Investments out on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe and like our page as well. I'd like to thank Nick and Brian for having us down here today. Tell us a little about GFM. Once again, as Tara and I kicked this meeting off, or our podcast off, saying, hey, this is a great little hidden treasure down here in Blue Springs.
How can people find you?
Good question.
Yeah.
So you can find us on the internet, gfmrecording.com, Instagram at GFM Recording Studios, Facebook at GFM Recording Studios, and 1118 West Main Street, right next to Brewers and the Ballet.
There you go, nestled right in between them. So, well, once again, that puts a wrap. We'll see you back here for episode 18 next month. See ya.